Teresa here with another Money Shift Monday episode. I'm really excited about this one. At the same time, I am going to warn you. Today's topic could be quite the shift for you. And your response to it could cover a full range of emotions. I hope that some of those emotions are you feeling excited and hopeful, maybe even a little freer than you do right in this moment, especially when it comes to money in your life. But I also recognize that what I'm going to share with you could have you feel a little frustrated, a little disappointed, maybe confused, even maybe jealous or resentful. And all of that is okay. Because bottom line, I have a hunch that what I'm going to share with you today is going to leave you with more questions than answered. Hence the frustration, confusion. But you see, my friends, when it comes to abundance, that's actually a good thing. Because when we have questions, not answers, well, that automatically makes us more open than we are when we think we know the answer to something. Does that make sense? Today's episode is a bit like a koan in the Zen Buddhist tradition. A koan is a paradoxical question or statement or story or metaphor that's used to teach in a way of teaching that helps students break away from their logical thoughts and their logical way of thinking and enter more of an intuitive state where answers come from within. That's what I hope today's broadcast is for you, my friend. Today, we are going to talk about cypress trees, cabbage plants, and cactus. Now, you might immediately notice they have a couple of things in common. Actually, at least three. They're all plants. Their names all begin with C, and they all need water to grow and flourish. Yes? Water is a life-giving resource for them, just like it is for us. And so is money a life-giving resource for us. So we're also going to be talking about you today here. But all of those sea plants also have something that makes them different. And the thing that makes them different is that the amount of water they need to grow and flourish is different for each and every one of them. A cypress tree thrives in really, really wet conditions like swamps and coastal areas down in Louisiana. But if you gave a cactus plant in the Arizona desert the same amount of water that a cypress tree needs, it would probably die. So would the cabbage plants, isn't that funny? Cabbage plants that Dan and I plant in our garden each year. Of course, the opposite is true as well. The cactus doesn't need a lot of water. It can live for months without rain. But if that happened to our cabbage plants or a cypress tree, they'd be stressed to the max. They could not flourish. They may even begin to die. I'm sharing this with you, my friends, because one of the dominant beliefs in our world today is that more is better, that lots is better, especially when it comes to money. This is, in fact, what the archetype of scarcity not only has us believe, it's what it has us strive for it as well. It also has us believe, even if it's subconscious, that if we don't have lots of money, if we don't want more money, something is wrong with us, that we should want more or lots, that we should have it be our goal. Now, you may be one of the people, because I know there are many who rebel against this very idea that they think of, maybe you do too, wanting more or wanting lots of money is being greedy or selfish. They may even think that wanting less is admirable or good. This is the way the archetype of scarcity sets things up. It's a dualistic either or good, bad world. It has us think that more or lots, preferably fast, is always better. And then it has some of us rebel against that notion and go in the exact opposite direction, not realizing that the entire time we're rebelling against the archetype of scarcity, it's still running us. We're reacting to it, giving it our power, not to mention a huge amount of our time, energy, and life. Here's the truth. Wanting or having more or lots of money is not automatically abundant, nor is having or wanting less of money automatically scarcity. See, the question we have to ask again and again and again, the question that opens us to abundance is, do I have the money I need to grow and flourish physically, emotionally, and spiritually? Now, having said that, realize that the answer to that question depends on whether you're a cabbage plant or a cactus or a cypress tree. There is no one size fits all in terms of money that will have you and everyone else grow and flourish. $1 million may be what you need if you are the human equivalent of a cypress tree. But if you're the human equivalent of a cactus, that ain't gonna work for you. Which reveals yet another illusion that the archetype of scarcity creates and perpetuates, albeit subconsciously. See if this rings true for you. Namely, that someone who has $1 million is better than someone who has $10,000. It would be like saying a cypress tree is better than a cactus or a cabbage plant. But a cypress tree is not better than a cactus or a cabbage plant. It's just different by design. Now, imagine if a cactus plant in the Arizona desert spent most of its life wanting and trying to be a cypress tree or even a cabbage plant. How frustrated would it be? How stressed and anxious, resentful and exhausted might it be? And yet, isn't this what so often happens in our own lives? Thinking that having lots or more money makes us better? How many of us who were created to be cabbage plants or cactus or maybe sunflowers or cucumbers or apple trees feel like we're not enough because we're not cypress trees, because we don't have as much as someone else does? Maybe you're even doing that right now, crossing your fingers, secretly hoping that you're designed to be a cypress tree. I know that one. I've done that before. Yet how many of us, in thinking this way, spend so much of our lives and our energy in the pursuit of more and lots of money and or things money can buy, only to wonder why, when and if we ever get those things, we feel stressed, overwhelmed, exhausted, burnt out, only to wonder why we're not flourishing the way we expected. To be able to grow and truly flourish, we need to know and accept who we are. Some of us are cypress trees. Some of us are cabbage plants. Some of us are cactuses. Some of us are some other type of plant. We will never experience abundance trying to be anything other than who we are. Any attempt to be other than who we are is automatically going to create frustration and struggle and stress and what I call unnecessary scarcity. And yet here's the paradox. That experience of frustration and struggle and an unnecessary scarcity may be exactly what eventually has us discover, accept, and trust in our own cabbageness and let go of needing or wanting to be a cypress tree. A koan. So back to this idea of a koan. The question for which there is no logical answer, my friends, for which you can never find the answer by looking outside yourself or comparing yourself to others, is this. Who am I? Who am I created to be? The answer to that can only come from within and can never really be answered by your mind, even though our mind absolutely wants to know the answer to that, yes? It can only be discovered, accepted, and lived moment by moment. As for money, it, like water, is only a life-giving resource if it gives life. Not stress, not pressure, not strain, not deprivation or dehydration, not bloat or overwhelm. Which leads to another question that can only be answered moment by moment, and not even with our logical minds, but from within. Is the way I'm accessing and utilizing money supporting me to grow and flourish? Not just one day in the future, but today. Because there's one more thing that you need to know about cabbage plants, and I can only assume it's true of cypress and cactus trees, but I don't know that for sure. Every spring, Dan and I plant our cabbage seeds indoors so we can get a jump start on the short growing season. We're going to plant them this week. So when we first plant those seeds in the little jiffy cells, they don't need a lot of water. In fact, if we give them too much, they will never sprout. They'll just rot. But then as they grow, the amount of water they need changes. Little seedlings need a little more water. Larger plants need yet more water. Full-grown plants need even more. The amount of water that supports them to grow and flourish is different at every stage of their growth. And yet at any stage, too little or too much will actually stunt their growth and could even kill them. And you know, my friend, the same is true for us when it comes to money. So, final koan. How do I know how much money we need? Not too much, not too little. Again, I can't tell you the answer to that, because that answer can truly only come from inside of you and from your lived experience. Maybe for now, the question to ask is not even how much you need, but it's to ask more about how are you using what you already have. Because in my experience, if you use the money you have, no matter how much or little, in ways that support you to truly grow and flourish, to fully be the unique human being you were created to be, even if right now you're just a seedling version of that, then you will grow. And as you grow, you can trust that any increase in the amount of money you need will be available. And you can learn, more growing, how to access and utilize that amount in ways that support your continued growth and flourishing. Because isn't that what it's about, my friend? It's about you fully being the unique human being you were created to be and flourishing. Because in the process, the world around you will flourish just a little bit more too. A koan, a question, paradoxical statement that you cannot handle, cannot answer in your brain. It has you go deep into you. You know what? The same is true when it comes to abundance. Abundance is not a function of our mind. It's not a function of externals. It's an experience of you that then gets expressed externally. So I would love to hear in the comments, questions, comments. What is this bringing up for you? Did you feel excited and hopeful, or did you feel like, shoot, I wanted the answer. This is frustrating. I get it. Okay. And just so you know, if you're like going, but how do I do that? How do I discover what I am? Am I a cactus or a cabbage or a cypress? How do I use the money in ways that truly supports my growth? Then be watching here later this week and in the weeks ahead, because I'm about ready to launch a brand new program called Unblock Your Money Flow that will really start to dig into and support you to discover the answers in you for those very questions. Thanks so much for being here. Again, let me know what comes up for you as you watch this, and I will see you back here next Monday with another Money Shift Monday broadcast. Have a great week, everybody.